Looking to get funded? Smart Prop Firm is your go-to platform for exclusive deals on the top futures prop firms. Earn up to 5% cash back and enjoy payout protection in the event your firm doesn't pay you out. Use code SMART at checkout. Click the link in the description to maximize your trading benefits. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys the exact trading strategy that consistently gives me days like this, and this. It's simple, it's repeatable, and most importantly, it actually works in real market conditions. No hype, no complicated indicators, just a clear rule-based approach that you can apply almost immediately. By the end of this video, you guys are going to have everything you need to execute a trade in the live markets. So if you're ready to start trading with confidence, let's go ahead and dive into the charts. All right, so let's get right into it. So if you guys have seen the original flow state, this is going to be pretty much an upgraded version, or version 2, if you will, of the flow state model. Now, those of you that haven't seen the flow state model video, it's a very simple two-step approach. It's basically waiting for price action to tap into some sort of higher time frame PD array, and then scaling down to the lower time frames and trying to find a CISD to enter off of. That was pretty much the flow state model. Now, the issue with the flow state model that I've seen from the few months ago that I posted it and actually made it public, people that have joined the Discord or my private mentorship have wanted to study flow state even more. And the problem that I kept finding, even with myself, is that a lot of people would wait for the higher time frame PD array tap, and then they'd scale down to the lower time frame that's aligned to whatever higher time frame PD array was tapped, and they would get they'd get like a false CISD and get reswept, and then it would go their way. So with months of data and seeing this reoccurring issue over and over and over again in my Discord group, in different communities that were trading the flow state model, I have come up with version 2 of the flow state model, and this is going to be more of a rule-based model, and you're going to need certain things to look out for, or else you're not going to have a trade. Now, this has drastically improved the win rate of the flow state model, and this has drastically improved the amount of trades that people are taking with, the flow state model. So this is going to be the new and improved flow state, if you will. So going right into it, this is going to be a blend of CRT and flow state. Now, if you guys don't know what CRT or even flow state is, I'll go ahead and leave both of the videos linked up top on the right of this video. So you guys will see like a little eye icon on the top right of this video. You guys can click on that, and you guys can go watch the CRT video that I have publicly on my channel and the flow state video that I uploaded a few months back to learn both about these strategies. But in a nutshell, CRT is basically using candles as ranges. Okay, so think of this as AMD, or power of 3. Okay, accumulation, manipulation, right? And then distribution. Okay, this is pretty much AMD in a nutshell, just using candles as ranges. Okay, now how can we implement that with flow state? Now, the issue with flow state, the regular one, the first one that I uploaded a few months back, is that a lot of people were entering in the manipulation candle, which is why you would see a false CISD get reswept, and then it would go your way. Now, the whole thing about this is that, again, you're not waiting for the manipulation candle to close. Now, if you guys are watching this video and you guys have seen the CRT videos that I have posted on my channel, you guys know that when you're trading CRT, I've mentioned this, I believe, before in the CRT videos, but when you're trading CRT, you ideally want to wait for the second candle to close and trade the distribution candle. That's exactly what we're doing in Flow State V2. Okay, so now, again, I have rules for this model. The first rule is the most important one. You have to use time frame alignment. So the higher time frame framework is going to come from a higher time frame CRT. When I say higher time frame, I don't mean the weekly, the daily. Yes, those are higher time frames, but if we're using the 1 hour and we're basing an idea off the 1 hour, we see a 1 hour CRT. Well, the lower time frame that you're going to use is the 5 minute. Okay, this is what I mean by time frame alignment. Okay, so the monthly goes down to the daily. So monthly POI, you'd use a daily, or look for a daily CISD. Go for the weekly, you go to the 4 hour. Go from the daily, you go to the 1 hour. Go to the 4 hour, you go to the 15 minute. Go to the 1 hour, you go to the 5 minute. Go to the 15 minute, you go to the 1 minute. That's as low as I'd go. You can use the 5 minute to the 15 second too. I explained this in the regular flow state video. If you don't know what time frame alignment is, again, go watch the flow state video, go watch the CRT video as well, and then come back to this so that way you have a bit more of an understanding. I'm not going to explain it in this video just because I have those videos posted on my channel. But the first rule is that you're going to want to use time frame alignment. You are going to want to be aware of time frame alignment, and you're going to want to use it. The second rule is obviously we're going to need some sort of CRT to form. We're going to need the next hour to open and sweep the previous candle's low or the previous candle's high. Okay, we're going to need the next candle to sweep it out. And now, this is the most important rule for flow state V2. You're going to want to wait for that second candle to close. Okay, and the reason for that is because you don't know if this is going to be a CRT. You don't know if this candle is going to be used as a range until this candle closes. Now, how can we confirm that the second candle is most likely going to close within the previous candle's range? The second candle is considered manipulation. Okay, so how do we confirm manipulation? We need SMT divergence. Now, it can be SMT with the previous candle's low, or it can be an external SMT from another level or another sell side level or something like that from over here to the left. Okay, let's say that we have a low over here that, the correlated asset sweeps and this one doesn't. Well, then we have an SMT divergence there, and that confirms the manipulation. We just have to wait for this candle to close to really confirm it. Okay, you guys following me here? We have to wait for this candle to close within the previous candle's range, so that way we can confirm its manipulation with SMT. Okay, so we do need SMT with this. The previous flow state, we did not need SMT, but we need SMT with this. And then on the lower time frames, so let's say that this is a 1 hour. On the lower time frames, we'll go to this 5-minute. We want to see a CISD in the manipulation candle or in the third candle, in the distribution candle, because if we're trading CRT, if we're using candles as ranges, we would expect the third candle to be what? Distribution or expansion. Okay, since the manipulation had already occurred and has already happened and took place, we would expect the next phase in price, which would be expansion or distribution to the opposing side of the range. Okay, so we must have a change in state delivery, again, using time frame alignment. So if this is the 1 hour, we would just go down to the 5-minute, or if this is the 4 hour, we would just get down to the 15-minute, and that's what we would enter off of. Now, the fourth rule for flow state V2 is going to be only entering on the expansion and distribution candles if you are new to this. If you are more advanced, you can definitely enter on candle 2. Whenever the manipulation happens and you see a CISD in the wick forming here. The only exception that I would enter on the manipulation candle, and the only exception that I would give you guys, like if you guys are barely new to this and CRT and all this stuff, and all this kind of sounds like a foreign language to you, I would only enter a CISD occurring in the manipulation candle towards the end of the macro, or a 1050 macro, 1110, like the top of the hour macros, basically the last 10 minutes of an hour to the first 10 minutes of an hour. So when this candle is coming to a close, right, whether it be on the 15-minute, 4 hour, 1 hour, etc., right, even daily, you could look for the CISD in the manipulation candle towards the macro. So if it happens in the macro, then I could enter on that expecting the third candle to, rip higher. So again, if you're new to flow state V2, I would only enter on the expansion or distribution candles, which would be candle 3 or candle 4. Again, that's how CRT is traded, because if you can have a CRT like this, where you pretty much have the third candle not moving as much, and then the fourth candle will distribute and expand even higher, right? It'll pretty much continue. Okay. So what you can do is enter on the third candle, right? And then expect the fourth candle to move higher. Okay. So I would only, again, enter on expansion or distribution candles, which is candle 3 or candle 4. Now, the fifth one is always waiting for market open, no pre-market trades. Again, if you guys are taking losses in pre-market, do not take any pre-market trades. If you see a very clean one, you can take it in pre-market, but I personally always wait for market open. Now, let's talk about risk management for this model. Actually, I have one more rule here. Always take profit if there's external SMT. So if the correlated asset takes this high here and the other one doesn't, always TP. I promise you guys will save so many break-even trades, so many unnecessary losses if you guys just TP when there is external SMT. Okay, doesn't even have to be above the candle's high or below the candle's low. It can be SMT externally with a higher time frame level. Okay, so always take profit if there is external SMT. Again, now let's go over risk management for this model. I personally always do 1 to 1.5% of risk of my total account with this model. Always aim for a minimum of a 1.5 RR. It can be anything above a 1.5 is good for this model. And last but not least, You are allowed 2 trades per day. You get 1 win with this, you're done for the day. You get 1 loss, you are allowed 1 more trade, but half risk, but it must be a 2RR, so that way you get back your loss plus some. Okay, so that is Flow State V2. So let's go ahead and jump onto the chart so I can actually show you guys and prove to you guys that this model works and how clean it is and how precise it is and how much patience you have to have with this model, which in turn is going to help you guys take less bullshit trades. So let's jump onto the charts and do a little back testing session. All right, so jumping onto the chart here, we're going to be using this 4-hour example here. So you can see how this candle is closing within the previous 4-hour candle range. So this is our CRT. Now to confirm that this second candle is actually manipulation, we want to look for our SMT. It can either be external SMT or internal SMT. And we actually do have SMT here. Now we're using NQ for this example, and the correlated assets for NQ is ES or YM, and they actually ended up taking this 10 p.m. low here, which is the Asia low. So this is external SMT, and now it is closing within the previous 4-hour candle range. All we have to do here is now just use time frame alignment. Now go down to the aligned time frame, which for the 4-hour is the 15-minute. This is where we are going to find our entry, okay? We don't have to go down to the 5-minute. We don't have to go to the 1 hour. We don't have to go to the 3-minute, find 3-minute confluences, 3-minute order blocks, 1-minute order blocks. We don't have to do that. We literally can just enter on the 15-minute. It's that simple. You don't have to find every little confluence on every single time frame. It's not necessary. You don't have to do that. So now we have to find our change in the state of delivery, which is right here. So we have 3 down close candles that make the lowest point in this section of price action here. So this becomes our CISD right there. Okay, so now what we can literally do, since we are expecting the third 4-hour candle, we're expecting that to be distribution to the upside of this opposing range right here, right? Which was that first 4-hour candle right there. That's the range, this low here to this high there, which is again, this 2 a.m. high or 3 a.m. high, is the London high. So that is even more confluence for our trade. So we can market enter here and place our stop at this low. Another bonus is that ES was actually taking this low and it kept making lower lows, and NQ was refusing to. So we actually have internal SMT here as well. So what we can do is target the CRT high and enter here on the CISD, and you had multiple entries. So once we get a body closure above the first down close candle in the series of down close candles, that confirms our change in the state of delivery. So you had multiple entries, and you even had lower entries, right, where you could have entered anywhere right here in this bulk of price action right there. So we'll go ahead and market enter here, and we will place our stop at the protected low because we have SMT. So if this is truly bullish, this should move higher, and we are expecting this third candle here to push up to the opposing side of the range. Again, we're expecting expansion, we're expecting distribution higher, which we get it right there. So we could TP right there at the CRT high, and that would be the first trade here. That's the first example. Let's go over and look at a 1-hour example to a 5-minute entry function, so that way you guys know what that looks like. So for the second example here, we have a 1-hour chart. You can see the 9 a.m. candle manipulates under the 8 a.m. range low, and we close back within the 8 a.m. range. Now, to confirm manipulation here, again, what we're looking for is any external SMT at any of the key levels. So we actually have the 7 p.m. low, which again is the Asia low. We have SMT there, and we are tapping a unmitigated 1-hour fair value gap. So if we zoom in a little more, you can see that unmitigated 1-hour fair value gap there that we tap into and are respecting it. Remember, wicks do the damage, bodies tell the story, and we close back within the 8 a.m. range. So all we have to do now, literally all we have to do, we don't even have to go to the 30-minute, 15-minute, nothing. We go to the aligned time frame of the 1 hour, which is what? The 5-minute. So now we are on the 5-minute chart, and we have a change in the state of delivery. Now, what we can aim for here, since this candle is going to close and the third 1-hour candle is going to open, which we are expecting what? Distribution. Since the manipulation has been confirmed and it has already happened, we are expecting expansion to the upside, right? These are phases of price, okay? And above the CRT high, we actually have a higher time frame buy side level. So we can actually aim for that. Now, what I personally like doing is pretty much market entering the CISD. You can set a limit at the CISD, but in my experience, a lot of times the CISD doesn't get tapped. So a cool trick, what you can do also is market enter half of your position and then limit the other half at the CISD. So that way, if it never taps the CISD, at least you're still in and are still making money. So you could do that. So let's go ahead and market enter here since the third candle is about to open up. And let's go ahead and see what happens here. So you can see we form a fair value gap as well, and the CRT high gets tapped. So we can actually just exit right there, and you can actually leave runners up to here, which would be a full 3.3R if you did not trim. But again, a minimum of 1.5 at least is what is required. And if we just play this out on 10x speed, we can see what happens here for the rest of the day. And you can see this actually climbed all the way up to our higher time frame buy side level. All right, so coming on to our 15-minute example, you can see here we have this candle closing within the previous 15-minute candle's range. And now to confirm this manipulation candle, all we have to do is just find an SMT with the correlated assets, whether it be ES or YM. Or if you're trading ES, then you look for an SMT on NQ or YM and etc. If you're trading YM, you look for one on ES and NQ. And we actually do have an external SMT here at this candle's low, and we are in a 15-minute fair value gap of this range right here. So 15-minute FEG here, a bullish one. We are still respecting it with an SMT at this candle's low right there. So now that this candle has closed, let me go ahead and delete some things just so it's not messy. But now that this candle has closed, this is our manipulation candle. All we have to do now is just go to the 1 minute. We don't have to go to the other time frames. Just go to the 1 minute, look for your CISD, which is right here, right? This is the last down close candle that made the low, the lowest point in this section here. Manipulated lower, so now we would wait for a tap into the CISD. So this is what your trade idea would look like. We'd place a stop right here at that low, and then we place a TP at the 15-minute CRT high. So if we can come down to the CISD there, which we did, and obviously I'll just go ahead and buy now for the video's sake, but you would want to set a limit there. And you can see how this actually ends up playing out. Very nice displacement. And that's where you would TP for a total of a 2.85 RR. But you can see how simple and straightforward this strategy is. We made about $3,200 in 3 examples. That's roughly $1,000 every single day. Now, if you want to trade with me at market open, have every single one of your guys' trades reviewed by me and be directly mentored by me, I'll leave a link to apply for that in the description down below. Not everyone will qualify, but if you do, I will work with you until you get funded at least 6 figures. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the backtesting results of this little backtesting session. Specifically, we made about $3,200. Our max equity drawdown was about $730, and our profitable trades were about 75%. So we have a 75% hit rate. And let me actually show you guys and take this a step further and show you guys a very prolonged backtesting session. This is data that I've collected every single Sunday when I backtest with my group. And if you guys are interested in joining a free group, if you guys like this video and you guys want more information on Flow State V2, actually get questions answered by me directly, you guys can actually join my private Discord for a 5-day free trial. You guys can see if you like it, and if you do, you can stay. If not, all good. But this is a backtesting session that we do every single Sunday with the group, and you can see this is all Flow State V2. We have a win rate of about 74% of roughly 148 total trades, which is a very big sample collection versus this one that we did in this video for about 3 or 4 trades, which isn't a super big sample size, but this is. But you can see that they're very, very similar in stats, right? We have a 75% win rate here, and we have a 74% win rate here over 148 trades, which is absolutely insane. You now have a simple strategy you can trade every single day that is rule-based, that you guys, if you follow the rules and you abide by these rules like I've said in this video, you guys are going to see success. But with that being said, let me know in the comments if you would want a full 1-hour unedited backtesting video on FX replay of Flow State V2. So that way you guys can see how I analyze it in real time when I'm by myself or when I'm trading with the group. You guys can see all the intricacies and all the little nuances of Flow State V2. and everything in between. So let me know in the comments if you guys want a full 1 hour unedited backtesting video of Flow State V2. But with that being said, if you guys enjoyed the video, like, subscribe. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good rest of you guys' day, and thank you for watching. Peace out.